INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
A community united in faith with one purpose: building stronger connections together.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of our viewers and listeners watching around the world. My name is Brother Nathan Vicente from the local congregation of Buena Park, and here with me today is
Sister Jaden Carlos from the local of Anaheim.
Thank you for being with me here today, Sister Jaden. So today in our broadcast, we will be recapping our district's recent Bihni Recognition Night. So we can now introduce our guests. We can start with here, Sister Nia.
Hello po, my name is Sister Nia Veneration from the local of Montclair.
Hello po, my name is Sister Isabella Redito and I'm from the local congregation of Corona.
Hello, my name is Sister Michaela Kabagunan and I am from the local congregation of Corona.
And last but not least, I'm Brother Max Veneration from the locale of Montclair.
So all of our guests here today, they were all a part of the recent Bihni Recognition Night, whether they were a part of the program, whether they helped set up, or were they a part of the performances. So today we'll be able to kind of pick their brain, they can walk us through, the different experiences they had throughout such a memorable event. So, Sister Jaden, what are some questions you have for our guests today?
All right, so we're actually going to have a slideshow presentation as well, so we can view some photos as we talk about things. So let's start off with just about the activity itself. So this question is open to everyone, but what moments from the activity were the most memorable for you? So does anyone want to volunteer? Okay, Brother Max.
What was most memorable for me was just rehearsing with all my friends and co-workers, or just all of the other district Binhi officers, and I feel like it was really fun, just because we were all doing it together.
If you didn't know, Brother Max was actually one of the MCs of that
program.
Wow! So, Brother Max, walk us through, how was that experience being an MC?
It was really fun, just making up the scripts. The most interesting part about it, or the most part I had fun with, was making the locale roll call. And making all those.
That's right. Did you guys come up with all 20 unique kind of catchphrases for each? How did you come up with those?
No, we didn't. We had lots of help from other peers from around our local. On the local Montclair, we got help from Brother Franklin Covey.
Do you remember what you said from Montclair? Could you give us a sample? Any local?
Oh, this one's my favorite. It was Glendora. I said, everyone knows they got the aura. Let's hear it for Glendora.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wait, that's actually really cool.
One.
Shout out to Brother Kobe. Thank you for coming up with it. Really,
gives it a little spice for the local roll call.
Yeah.
I'm sure the cheers got really loud.
I know they did.
And also with us here is some of the performers. They did a Tinikling performance.
Yes.
I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes, you got it.
Tinikling. So walk us through that. What inspired you to choose that performance for the Bihni Recognition?
I really wanted to offer the Binhi of OCC a really fun experience, and I know Tinikling does really well with audiences, especially because there's that factor that it's kind of dangerous. Yeah. Especially with our performance, because at one point we were blindfolded. So I really wanted to give the Binhi a really fun performance to see. And I'd also like to thank Sister Rianne and Brother Hayden from the local congregation of Riverside, because they were the one who gave us the opportunity to perform for BRD this year. So yes, and also I wanted to showcase Filipino culture for OCC Binhi.
Yeah, very appropriate.
Yeah, I would like to piggyback off of that. I also wanted to show the Binhi Filipino culture, because I'm not sure if we've had that sort of traditional performance before. So I'd like to showcase that, and that was really fun, especially with our performers. Shout out to them, by the way.
Shout out to our Tinikling performers.
It was really fun for rehearsals and just having a lot of fun together. We had different locales. We had Corona, Fontana, and Riverside. It was just really fun getting that little bond together, you know. So that was really nice.
I'm sure you all worked really hard to put everything together, so it must have been like so satisfying for everything to come together when it actually happened. So yeah, I'm really happy for you guys. And then Sister Mia, what about you? What was like the most memorable thing for you?
To be honest, the whole thing was very memorable. I think seeing the Binhi all come together from the moment they all walked in and got their name card to the moment they left, I think that everyone was just having a really good time, and they really enjoyed just being in each other's company and having that opportunity to just kind of like chill out and hang out. But one of my favorite parts was the Four Corners game, when everyone was in their 4 different corners, and then you kind of yell, OCC, OCC, OCC to, and then BRD, like that. And I think it got everyone like, just like extra united and extra bonded. Everyone was working towards the same goal, like who can be louder than the other corner. And I think that was just, it just made my heart happy to see, because everyone was just having so much fun.
Yeah, lots of energy. I feel like it's really nostalgic for us Kadiwas, huh, Brother Nate? Like thinking back to when we had our Binhi days and had our BRDs, it's nice to see that it's still going and it's
the
still,
tradition is still alive.
Right, exactly.
Because I think you put it really well, Sister Mia. You know, I think there's a reason why we leave it to the end of the night, because it's it leaves everyone everyone leaves the venue, you know, like kind of uplifted, because all the energy is there, you know, and we're all kind of united, like what you said. And yeah, you know, and also, you know, people can kind of get silly with it, you know. I think some people kind of standing on chairs, kind of standing on tables, but that just all adds to the fun, you know. But actually, I wanted to go back to our performers real quick, and the tinikling performance, because I'm curious, how long did you guys have to practice for?
So actually, even before November and October, we had an EVM where we performed the nickling, and that's where Brother Hayden and Sister Rianne actually told us, like, it'd be really fun if you guys performed for BRD, and we were like, absolutely, that'd be awesome. So we started planning that out a little bit towards from like summer-ish.
Oh, wow.
And then but we actually started rehearsing and grabbing our performers from early October, and then we started rehearsing from late October to early November.
Wow, so it really was like a whole process.
Yes.
Did you say you performed it first for an EVM? Is that what you said?
Yes,
So
but
that's kind of how it started. Is that correct?
Yeah, but that initial performance was 2 minutes long, and then for our performance for BRD, it was 4 minutes long.
Oh, so you added to it. You
yeah.
made it more
We got the big
complicated.
time. It was really tiring. We always told our dancers to stretch first.
Now I really want to see it. I wish I had like
I know,
a
it
clip
was
or
really
something.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, just to paint a picture, you know, for our viewers and listeners who may not have seen it, it was really well thought out, because it kind of was very climactic. You know, like you mentioned, there was the blindfold. That was kind of a climax, because, and I think a lot of the Binhis, they weren't expecting that, and I could really see, because I was actually backstage, and I saw all the reactions once you guys had the blindfold, and all of them were like, no way they're actually going to do this with the blindfold on. But you guys, you know, you did such a great job. And then not only that, you had all the, I don't know if there's a name for it, but like the attire, the Filipino attire,
Yes.
and the sticks, I don't know what they're called.
They're just called sticks.
Yeah, the
Just
sticks.
called
Just, you know, everything about the performance, it really did, I think, you know, Filipino culture justice. So yeah, props to you guys. It was a really good performance.
Thank you so much.
Really good performance.
And then I have another question that I wanted to ask. I'm going to go ahead and extend this to the Veneracion siblings. Why do you think activities like this are really important for the Binhi in our church?
I think activities like our Binhi Recognition Day and just Binhi activities in general are important for the youth of our church, because I think it, like I said earlier, it provides them with an opportunity to make friends within the church. There's so much noise in the outside world. We want to really protect our Binhi from that, and just show them that it's important to have friendships within the church and to have fun. Like, to show that church is just super fun, and we can make those memories together and just become stronger in our faith together.
That's a perfect answer.
Very well said.
Very
Coming
well
from our District Binhi president.
Continuing on what my sister said, I feel like it helps them like meet new people, catch up with old friends, and it just like helps them unite all of us together as we are like in the church.
Definitely. Yeah. So we talked about the MC, we talked about performances, we talked about the overall event. But there's one thing we haven't spoken about yet, Brother Jaden.
Brother
Sister Jaden, sorry. Sister Jaden. It's the food. How was the food?
Oh.
Because the food looked really good.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
saw
kind
photos
of
of
jealous
that.
I didn't get it.
Yes.
I was seeing that pasta. I was like, oh my goodness, I wish I was there.
Yeah. The food was really good. It was actually provided by the venue, like the pasta and stuff, but we also had other like finger foods and desserts. Shout out Asylum Bowls.
Oh my
They've
goodness.
been
We
featured
love
on the
acai
radio
bowls.
a few times, but yes, they hooked us up with some acai bowls. We also had Brother Billy. He gave us some tater tots,
Tater tots.
and boba, and so I think that was something the Binhi enjoyed. You guys like it?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think with the tater tots specifically, sorry, not to get too carried away with the food, but I don't think I've had tater tots like that because they were like tater tots and they had like nacho cheese on them and then the
Hot Cheetos.
hot chips, the spicy, whatever we call
Hot
it.
Cheetos?
Yeah. Not sponsored
Not
by the way.
sponsored.
Not sponsored by the way. But I don't know, it was just such a unique kind of side dish. And I was like, this is so cool, like the Binhis get to like, not only do they get like the fancy food, but they get these cool snacks too. And you kind of jealous. Along
Brother
like
Nathan
the,
is so excited
the
about
milk
this.
tea and the boba, yeah. I'm kind of a food guy if you haven't noticed. But
It's a food.
yeah, it was very cool. And then I think you also had like little booths, like there was a photo booth, right? Right, a photo booth. And like other games, I think I saw a Connect 4, like a big Connect 4, also not sponsored. Also not sponsored. But yeah, walk us through that, because I think how the venue was laid out, right? There was like a courtyard kind of thing, and then you had like the inside ballroom. So walk us through like the venue, like how cool was that
And
venue?
you had I want to hear about that too.
Yeah, so right when you walked in, like you said, Brother Nate, there was a courtyard with a bunch of games that the Binhi could enjoy. There's the photo booth that I think our sisters enjoyed. If you guys want to talk about your experience with that.
I think
I
we
think there's a story there. Yeah.
we took like 5 photo strips home. Like there was one with like I think like 5 locals in one booth.
Oh my
You were able to
goodness.
fit 5
Yes.
Okay,
walkers in one-
not like the entire locals, but like there was people from Victorville. Shout out to Victorville. There was people from Corona, people from Montclair. I know Max was in one of our photos. Yeah, people from Riverside, people from Fontana, and it was a really great opportunity to bond with all of our friends from other locales. And yeah, like what Sister Mia said, I really appreciate how we have activities like these so that we can really show people our age that there's always a community for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think both Brother Nate and I used to be DBIN officers as well. So we kind of know what it's like to plan and help to coordinate, set up events like this. So how was the actual setup for decoration, giveaways, things like that? I actually want to know about like the party favors that you would give away, basically.
That's right, because I think I saw like for the grads, right? That's another important aspect of the event, which we haven't touched
Right.
on.
Yeah.
But this event obviously is to honor like the middle school promoters and the high school graduates. And I think I saw that they walked away with like a little something, like a little gift
Yeah.
bag.
Stole? Weren't
I
they
saw a
wearing
stole,
stoles as well?
I saw a candy lay. What else did they get?
Yeah, we spent a lot of our time dedicated to the grads and making sure that they really felt recognized at our activity. So we had like special goodie bags for them. Came with like a notebook that said BRD 2025.
Oh, that's
Wow,
cool.
no
That's
And
cool.
like a power bank. Those were something that I think
That's
they enjoyed.
such a good thing for
Oh,
students.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
that's
so
good.
smart. I remember ours had tote bags.
Oh
They
yeah,
did.
those are
They
cool.
had tote
bags.
That's right.
Yeah, so we had those for the grads, and we also had little giveaway prizes for the different games, like the Merch in a Box game, and there's like a MC Says, and everyone got little gifts and prizes there too.
Very cool. Very cool.
Can
I
I-
think I saw. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Can I elaborate?
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course. I was about to ask you, since you were an MC, can you hear more about the program?
Again, it took a lot of time to think what we should give them, and then we ended up doing again candy lays, stoles, and some other stuff that she listed. I think it was, you said goodie bags and with chargers. Yeah. For the game winning prizes, I think we did Squishmallows, little candy bags, and we also did a Polaroid camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the big prize.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really fun trying to set that up too. The whole event was fun in general. because again, I was doing it with all my friends.
I think one of the games you did, yeah, I think you mentioned it, MC Says. I think that was such a brilliant game because it's so simple, but I think it really gets the room going, you know what I mean? Because I think I saw a lot of the Binhis, they got really into it. Like when they got eliminated, when they got eliminated, they got so mad, they got so sad. And it's just like a simple game, like you just follow what the MC says, right? And then the scavenger hunt, right? They had like the, what do they call it? The grad hats?
Grad hats, yeah.
What was the winner for that? How many did they end up finding? Because I know we had hit a lot, I think, right?
I don't remember the winner, but I think I know how much they got.
What was the prize for that game?
The prize was you get to pick over a Polaroid camera or Squishmallows. Pick the Polaroid camera.
And what was the high score?
The high score was 35 out of 50.
Oh,
They found 35 hats
goodness.
out of 50. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
That's
really-
dedication.
Wow.
What
From the
all out
Binhi.
for this event.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of the going back to the I guess the booths, I think there was also a leave a note section, right?
Yes.
That was another cool thing because you know the Binhis, basically they got to like write a little note and then stick it on like a big wooden wall.
Yeah.
Whose idea was that? 'Cause that's also like such a really good idea.
Yeah.
I don't remember whose idea it was.
So, I think we came, the Binhi kind of, who were planning the event, kind of came up with it together. Originally, it was supposed to be kind of leave a note for a graduate, and then they can see that to be recognized, but we figured, why not just open it up to everyone? So everyone can share their kind thoughts and their hearts to the other Binhi. And I saw some notes, it was like, I think my little cousin, she's not a Binhi, but she was there.
Aww.
She wrote like, you are always okay if you have God or something. And there's a bunch of notes, I know, so
That's
sweet.
so
There's a
sweet.
bunch of notes like that. So it would be like, you're so awesome from the Corona Binhi or something like that. And I think that was really sweet to see everyone just kind of leave it. And it got super filled and it looked really pretty. So that was the intent of the event, so we could spread positivity within the Binhi.
And then were we able to share those slides for the photos for our Kuya text? Just so that we have a visual representation as we're talking about it. But I think we're able to switch over from just talking about the event to talking about our actual event officers themselves and what it's like for you guys to work as a part of a team together, planning things like this. So what part of your role do you enjoy the most? And what are the most challenging parts of it as well? For reference, Sister Mi, I think we mentioned it earlier, she's our DBIN president.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there she is.
Wow.
So yeah, we have our photos up now. But yes, I'll repeat that question for you. What is your favorite part of your role, and what are the challenges of it as well?
Being the district Binhi president of this district is such a fulfilling thing for me. I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to be able to meet Binhi, like Sister Isabella and Sister Michaela, and work with Binhi, like my brother Max. I think it's so fun, again, to just see all of the Binhi come together and really unite when it comes to these activities. And I think we all just have a place to come to if we're ever feeling a certain way, and we all have this kind of sort of community that we've been building over the past year or so, and I hope continues to grow. And I hope that with what we do as District Binhi and Binhi officers within our locals is that we're able to help the Binhi kind of have a place of belonging within the church, and I think that's really important.
And I think that's what you ultimately accomplished in this event. You know, you mentioned like the energy of like uplifting everyone. You know, whether it's through the notes or honoring the grads. So I think that's also like such a fun aspect of the event. You know, I remember being a high school graduate, being so excited, right, to like walk the stage. I get to like be honored in front of all these people.
Yeah.
I was so worried about like what am I gonna like, because I know everyone has like their stage walk. I didn't see any this year. But everyone was like, maybe that's my generation, I don't know. But everyone was like so concerned about like, oh, like I have to do like a cool
Cool pose.
entrance walk or like cool pose. Anyway, not to get sidetracked. But yeah, I think ultimately this event did a really good job of showing the Binhi, like what we keep on saying, that the church, especially the Binhi generation, that you can really find camaraderie and support through each other.
And then Sister Mia, what were some of those challenges? Because I'm sure there's a little bit of hardship in everything.
Mm-hmm.
So just what are some things that you can really take away from events like this?
Yeah, so we normally try to aim for our Binhi Recognition Day to be in the summertime because it's right after grad season. But of course, things happen, had to get pushed back. So I think one of the challenges that we face, Brother Max, if you want to elaborate on this as well, is balancing out like our schoolwork and other extracurricular activities with planning out our Binhi Recognition Day because of course you have these school obligations and other stuff like that. But of course, church always comes first. So kind of finding that balance within our everyday lives and in finding time to really set aside and for like the MCs to rehearse or for our performers to meet up because of course you guys come from different locals. You definitely have to make an effort to come see one another. So I think that was one of the challenges, but ultimately it was really worth it. It's all worth it in the end.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, again, I'd like to elaborate. Again, it is us just balancing our school with our church. But another challenge that we also had was the past events that we have. They're again really fun events because it was really nice seeing everyone like having a really fun time there. But I feel like a challenge that we had during the past event of our EVM Cup was us waking up really early and setting up.
You're not a morning person, huh?
No.
But no, sorry.
But it does kind of like make it all up because again we're doing it like as a family and we're all having fun while doing it.
Yeah, I think you put it really well.
Hard work and dedication.
Yeah, November's been a very busy month for OC. I think
Yes,
that's
it
kind of
has.
putting it a little lightly, but I think the fact that we're kind of all in it together, for lack of a better term, and it is at the end of the day, like you said, very fulfilling. Being able to perform for these duties back to back, whether it's for EVM Cup or whether it's for this Bihni Recognition Night, being able to perform along the same people, every week, every weekend, I guess, is very fulfilling. And I think that's something very important for the Binhi to understand and to realize.
And then for our sisters, Michaela and Sister Isabella, how has being a young district officer shaped the way that you see responsibility and leadership in the church?
Well, we're not district officers, but because
or officers in general.
yeah, because I'm acting as president for my locale, and thank you. And through that duty, I realized that as presidents, we all have a responsibility to make sure that our Binhis are well cared for. And I know as Binhis in general, we all understand that there's some things that we can't relate to compared to everyone else in this world. And so I think as Binhi officers in general, we should all work together to, again, make that community and make sure every single Binhi finds a place of belonging. Because that's how I get by when it comes to things in this life. Because if I didn't have any of my friends from, whether it be in my own locale, my officers, friends in other locales, or any of the Deban officers, I probably wouldn't have felt that sort of acceptance, or because I'd always feel out of place, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I think as CFO officers, we definitely have a very important responsibility when it comes to making that kind of community.
And then, Sister Isabella, what are your thoughts on this as well?
I really love how we make that, like you said, that community within our locale and even outside of our locale. Because when I became Binhi, like when I became just a little shy Binhi, of course I knew the Binhi before because I've been growing up with them. But even those people that weren't really connected with us, I really liked bonding with them and becoming that I wouldn't say role model, but that person that they can look to just for advice, or even just as their friend, not just their officer, but as their friend, and they can always talk to me, or just have that little friend group as Binhi, So yeah.
Yeah, so continuing on that note, we're all kind of saying the same thing in terms of how important and how much we prioritize, and value being a Binhi officer and being in CFO. So just to wrap up with this one last question, if we can kind of flip it in terms of how we can take what we take what we gain from being a Binhi officer and applying it to our personal lives, whether it's in school, extracurriculars, preparing for our future. How would you say being a Binhi officer gives you the skills, gives you the tools to grow in this life?
When I first became a Binhi officer, I was really, really, really shy. I did not like to talk to people, and public speaking was probably one of my worst fears ever. But as we know, like our Binhi monthly meetings, we have to come up there and talk and pray in front of others, right? And that skill made me really more outgoing, and it made me a lot more get out of my shell and everything. That's what really made me get out of my shell, get out there and be more myself with other people instead of just clinging to the same people, in the same locale. Connecting back to the BRD, I really loved inviting the other locales because as we know, we're all stuck in the same locale. We might be far from other locales, but I really love just connecting with other people, and that skill of just having connections really helped us like perform Tinikling, just have that little community.
Yes, I'd like to add on to that. So for the Tinikling performance, the way that I've been learning and how I've been teaching it is that I've always been learning Filipino cultural dances for my school. And I'm the president of my Filipino culture club. So,
Woo.
yes, thank you. So, so I've always had experiences with Filipino dances such as Tinikling, or even other dances such as Bulaklakan or Sayang Sabangko. And some skills that I've learned some skills that I have learned as a Binhi officer is definitely communication, because I know that we've all had those moments where people don't effectively communicate, and then we all get really frustrated. So I think that, along with collaboration, is a really important skill that we should learn as people, not just as officers.
I feel like being a Binhi officer really like comes up to my real life, because again, it made me more social, as what Sister Isabella said, and I feel like it has also helped me just create like this. It showed me like how I should be towards some people, because when I was, again, just like when I just became Binhi, I wasn't really social, because I was really like trapped in my room a lot. I didn't really like to come out. I still am this way, but but yeah, I do like to go out and talk to people, and yeah, I feel like I'm more down to do more stuff. I'm like
More sociable, more
Yeah.
outgoing, more extroverted.
yeah.
And then let's end it off with Sister Binhi.
Yeah, I think that being a Binhi officer has taught me a lot, and it has helped me in my everyday life. Like Sister Isabella said, public speaking. I get to speak in front of a lot of people very often, and so I think that's something that being a Binhi officer has helped me with. But I think also ultimately it's helped me kind of see people, young people, in a different point of view. I kind of understand, or at least try to understand, how they might be feeling and how everyone kind of has their own thing going on. So in simple terms, I think being a Binhi officer has made me more empathetic and more understanding of the people around me.
Beautiful.
Very well put. Thank you so much to our guests today. As we look into the future, I mentioned it before, but November is a very busy month for OC. But this upcoming weekend, tomorrow actually, we have our musical EVM, and the weekend after, we have our Kadiwa formal. So very excited for those two events. Sister
Right.
Dana?
All right, and then unfortunately, that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in and left comments for us today. Before we end it off, we'd like to give a special thanks to our Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Wally Tarai, our Station Manager, Brother Hansel F. De Dios, our District Minister, Brother Joel Narciso, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Andres Nicolas Jr., our District CFO Overseer, Brother Emmanuel Andaya, our Executive Producer, and last but not least, as always, our OCC INC Radio Kuya Tex. Thank you so much for always helping us and supporting us in INC Radio. For all of our viewers, please continue to stay tuned in as we continue with our INC Radio programs.